Okay, so welcome back to a new video. Today I wanted to talk about something that doesn't sound serious at first, and I wanted to face and talk about this on a video. And how about worrying is a problem I believe everyone, me included, has struggled with in their lifetime. And if you're going through this, remember, you're not alone. So if you have like 5 to 10 minutes to spare, stay until the end, because this might be the thing that could help. So, where do I start? First of all, I'm willing to help by telling you what I learned about this experience, how to deal with worry, and what I learned about coming out and still dealing at times with this issue, and most of all, how to tackle it, how to face it. Okay, so let's begin. Worry, in my case, came from not knowing anything, from not knowing everything. I was worried about, still am, or sometimes worried about my future, my life, my career, my decisions, my relationships, especially with God. And so this was one of my biggest issues, and sometimes still is, with when it comes to worry. As a Christian man, dealing with worry, slowly distanced me from seeking and actually actively pursuing the Lord. Not because I didn't believe, not because I didn't think that I was worthy, not because I knew, not because I didn't think he couldn't help me. I knew all this, but I was way too focused. I was focused too much, and I was focusing too much on my problems and the things that I had to face, that I got so distracted from the truth, and from problems that often were never there. So what I did was, I didn't stop believing, but I started worrying, and I still believed, I still prayed, I still read my Bible, but I stopped trusting. And that led me to confusion, a lot of confusion. My thoughts were really loud. Nothing was really clear, and my thoughts were just immensely racing and loud, and it was a big cloud of confusion over my life and my head. And I think that one of these problems is that we don't know this, but this is one of the devil's tactics. Like, the enemy, Satan, will try to create confusion in your life, especially he's going to especially try and affect your mindset, affect how you think, affect how and what you think, by suggesting thoughts that are misleading, or things that haven't even taken place, like imaginary things, conversations, things that could go wrong, things that could go right. And I ask myself, how can I hear God? How can I be in fellowship with Jesus if my mind is clouded with so much noise? How could he speak to me if I was continuously distracted from thoughts, from thoughts that weren't even true at times? And this led me to act in fear. My emotions, my feelings that were not trustworthy, and they never are. And so I began, cutting corners. I began thinking that choosing comfort over faith, or or just not being obedient as I used to was somewhat of an excuse for the things that I was going through. And I started prioritizing my feelings over my faith, my emotions over what really meant, and what really the scriptures tell me, and what God really tells me. And all of this happened not because I hated God. I did not. I just stopped believing that He was really in control. Now, at times when fear drags you down, when fear clouds your mind, and your vision is so narrow, at times I really thought, wow, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe Jesus left me. Maybe God left me, and I didn't feel worthy. So when you start to worry, God does feel distant. He does feel distant because you keep relying on your feelings, on emotions, on things that are not stable, things that are not true, things that are not representing of what reality is. And I keep reminding myself that when times like these come around, I always need to point my vision back to the scriptures. And the truth can always be found in scriptures, in every single scripture. For example, Isaiah 41, 9 through 10, it says, I will never leave you, I will never forsake you. And it talks about how God, even in your most gruesome times, even when you don't think there's a way out, in Isaiah, it especially describes how we are never left abandoned. We are never abandoned. It's us who abandoned God. It's not God who abandoned us. And so I found myself trusting my fears more than His promises. So the distance felt bigger. The distance I felt wasn't really punishment or shame or guilt. It was me trying to, do it all on my own, trying to carry it all together, all the weights, all the anxieties, all the things that come about living life. And I know I couldn't. So I wanted you to know all this, because coming back from this wasn't dramatic. It wasn't dramatic, but it was choosing. It was a straight up choice to stop thinking and arguing and imagining things that in my head were not the real depiction of reality. And I had to start surrendering again, surrendering things I cannot control, surrendering things I cannot carry. And that's why Jesus says, my yoke is light. And it's why he says that his yoke is light, and because we can't handle life's problems on our own. So what I'm trying to say, that worry is not harmless. It does affect a person, but it's not completely harmless. It slowly weakens our self-control and replaces our faith through fear. And it's subtle. And then fear brings in actions in your life that are completely opposite to what God is calling you to do. And it opens the door to sin. Realizing all of this doesn't mean you're lost, doesn't mean you're abandoned, doesn't mean you have to strive to do something better, but it's actually God calling you to come back. And it's actually it's being called by the Lord to come back to him. So if you're stuck in this season of worry, if you're stuck in a season where you're worrying about anything really, even now, about money, about career, about relationship, about the future, anything in general, God calls you to be still, because it's in silence where he can speak to us. And he's calling you to be still, and he's telling you, you are not abandoned. Nobody is. It's the fact that you are just tired of carrying what was never meant for you to carry. And Jesus says, come to me, you who are heavy laden. Come to me, you who are heavy laden. I will give you rest. And that's what he's trying to tell you. And that's what he's been telling me through this journey and this issue I've been facing. And just know that faith can start again right now, right here, where you are. I hope I've said everything so that you can understand that this is a problem we all face. And I really hope this video was of some help to anybody who's been struggling with this issue. So God bless, and remember, the righteous fall 7 times, but they get back up. Proverbs 24:16. God bless.